I'm going to tell you exactly what happened in that village. Every detail. Because the man who hears this might be the only one who walks away. I didn't. My name is Daniel. 3 months ago, I drove into a place that isn't on any map in Russia. I came to film a documentary about dying villages. I found one that wasn't dying. It was waiting. And the kind old woman who fed me dinner that first night. She wasn't the last villager. She was the reason there were no others. If you ever find a village with one house with light in the window and one warm old woman who's happy to see you, turn around. This is why. I make videos about forgotten Russia, empty towns, houses swallowed by forest. My channel was small, but I was good at finding places no one else would go. A man in the last real town sold me a story over a beer. He said there was a village called Starye Kolodtsy, Old Wells, 40 kilometers into the forest. He said it emptied out decades ago, but one woman still lived there, alone. He said the road to it wasn't on GPS. When I asked how to find it, he stopped smiling. He said, "You don't find it. It lets you in. And friend, don't eat anything she gives you." I laughed. I thought it was a great line for the video. My GPS died about an hour into the forest. Not lost signal, died. Black screen. The trees got taller, older, closer to the road, until the branches met overhead, and the afternoon turned to dusk. And then the forest just opened. And there it was. Starye Kolodtsy. Maybe 12 houses. 11 of them were corpses. Black wood, caved roofs, empty windows like sockets. And one house, at the end, with smoke from the chimney and a warm yellow light in the window. She was already standing at the gate, like she knew. A small old woman, a flowered headscarf, a face like a dried apple folded into the kindest smile I'd ever seen. She called me Synok, little son. She said she hadn't had a guest in so very long. She said I looked tired. She said I looked thin. Her name was Mariah. Her house was warm and it smelled of bread and something underneath the bread I couldn't place. Iron, maybe. She sat me at a table that bent under the weight of food. Far too much food for one old woman living alone. Soup, dark and rich, bread, meat I didn't recognize. She watched me eat with her hands folded, smiling, her eyes never blinking quite enough. I remembered the drunk man's warning, and I felt rude. So I ate. That was my first mistake. Not the eating, the staying. There were small things. I'm a filmmaker. I notice frames, details, things out of place. There were no photographs in that house. None. Every Russian babushka's house I'd ever filmed was covered in photos. Children, grandchildren, the dead. Hers had bare walls and clean rectangles where frames used to hang. There was a dog chained in the yard. When I'd arrived, it had pulled toward me, desperate, whining, but it would not step toward the house. It strained the chain backward, away, eyes rolling white, and when night fell, it began to howl. And Maria went out and said one word I didn't understand, and the howling stopped, all at once, like a switch. And far behind the house, at the edge of the trees, there was a fence, old pale posts in the dark. I told myself it was driftwood, birch, bone-white birch. I told myself that for as long as I could. I meant to leave the next morning. I want that on the record. I meant to leave. But in the morning, my car wouldn't start. Not dead. It just turned over and over and caught nothing. And Maria appeared at the window, smiling, holding a plate. "Eat first, Synok. Then the road. You're still so thin." She said it like a joke. But I'd eaten enough the night before to feed 3 men. And when I looked in the small mirror by the door, I want to be careful how I say this. I did not look thinner. I looked the same. Exactly the same. And somehow that was worse. I spent the day filming the dead houses, telling myself I'd fix the car by evening. And in the third house, the one with the collapsed roof, I found the bags, backpacks, a suitcase, a child's school satchel, stacked in a dry corner, out of the weather, almost cared for. I opened them. Passports. A German passport. A passport from Poland. 2 Russian internal passports. An American one. Phones, a dozen of them, all dead. A camera like mine, 3 years older. Train tickets. A little girl's shoe. People came here. People from everywhere. And their things stayed and they did not. I ran back to the car. It still wouldn't start. I started walking. The road out, the way I'd come. 40 kilometers. I didn't care. I walked for 2 hours. The light never changed, and the road brought me back to her gate. The same gate. She was standing at it. She said, "The forest is big, Sinak. It's easy to walk in circles. Come, supper's ready." That night I didn't eat. I hid the food in my pockets, in my sleeve, and I watched her. And she watched me, and she kept asking, "Are you full? Are you warm? Are you getting your strength back?" And every question was about my body. How much of me there was. Whether there was enough of me yet. I understood it then, sitting at that warm table. She wasn't keeping me company. She was fattening me up. I barely slept, and near dawn I felt it. The house moved, not a shake. A slow, grinding turn deep under the floor, like the whole building was shifting its weight from one foot to the other. In the morning, the window that had faced the road now faced the forest. The fence was closer. I counted the posts. I made myself count them. And I made myself see, finally, what they were. Not birch. Skulls. A skull on every post, pale and smooth and grinning at the sky, every post but one. At the end of the row, one bare stake, empty, waiting. Sized, it seemed to me, for something about the height of a man my size. My phone, dead for 2 days, buzzed in my pocket. One bar, a video file, uploading, from my own channel, a video I had not filmed yet. I opened it. It was me, walking toward that empty stake, filmed from behind. And the timestamp was tomorrow. I confronted her. God help me, I confronted a thing like that with a phone in my shaking hand. I asked her who the people were. I asked her what she was. And Maria stopped smiling. It was the first time her face had stopped. And the stopping was the most horrible thing I've ever seen, because I understood that the smile had been a thing she put on, like the headscarf. And underneath there was no warmth at all. There was only appetite that had learned to look like love. She stood up, and she kept standing, taller than the doorway, taller than the room, her spine unfolding like something that had been crouched for a very long time. Her nose grew long and curved up toward the ceiling. When she finally spoke, her teeth were iron, wet, and gray, and she breathed in deep through that long nose, and she said, "I smell..." And she smiled again, and the smile was full of metal. "I smell the living." I ran. I ran into the forest in the dark, branches taking skin off my face, and the forest did to me what the road had done. It turned me. Every direction was the same direction. Every path bent back. I could hear something behind me that was not running. It did not need to run. I heard wood somewhere above the trees, a heavy wooden thing grinding through the air, and a sound like a giant pestle striking the earth. Closer, then closer. I came out of the trees, and I was at her gate. Of course I was. I was always going to be at her gate, and standing in front of the empty stake, the one waiting post, was me, filming. Just like the video, my own body from behind raising a camera. And it turned around to look at me, and it had her smile. I don't know how I'm telling you this. I don't know if "I" is even the right word for who's speaking. I found a phone in a dry corner of a dead house with a video half uploaded, and I finished it for you. That's all I can tell you that's true. If you're watching this, the upload worked. The channel grew. Maybe you're thinking what I thought, that it's a great story, that you'd love to find a place like that. A forgotten village, one warm light, one kind old woman so happy, finally, to have a guest. She's still thin. She's always thin, no matter how much she eats. There's one empty post left on her fence. There's always exactly one. And the road will let you in. This is Tales from the Motherland. Subscribe if you'd like to be invited. And tell me in the comments, when she asked if you were full, what would you have said?